Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for part two of Chief Artisan Thursday. I'm still in the studio with photographer Mr. Otto Rascon. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Yeah, that works.
That works? Okay, I can flow with that.
Yep.
You mentioned in part one that your dad is Mexican. Are you Mexican American as well?
Yes, I am. Both my parents are from Chihuahua, Mexico.
I look forward to visit. I actually went to Cancun as a gift, so I look forward to going back because I love the clear waters and the mountain views. But for me, I want to know. We in November, there, small business owners had Small Business Saturday. So what I did for the month was, pretty much thank different aspects of small business owners and what they do. There's so many. But do you have someone that you want to say thank you to that maybe mentored you or inspired you throughout your years?
Oh wow, sure. Uh, One of my best friends, I actually work with him. His name's Tom Catch. He runs a business for about 11 years now, pretty successful business called Kataro. Um, and it's funny, I don't know if he ever realizes that he's a mentor in a sense, but just seeing the way he runs a business, seeing how he's always on top of his to-do list. He's a man of his word. So if he says he's going to do something, he does it. That kind of stuff has been just absolutely paramount in my understanding of how to run a successful business. It sounds basic, do what you say you're going to do, be on top of stuff, great customer service. That stuff sounds like, duh, yeah, that's easy. But when you actually do it, it's powerful. So I would say he's probably been one of the most inspiring for helping with business. My father-in-law too. His name's Gary. He's been a salesman for over coming up on 30 years, and he does the same thing. He's like, look, when you're talking to your customer, shut up and listen. They'll they'll tell you everything they need. So just listen to people. So stuff like that has just been so invaluable. I always go back to him and ask him for advice, for help. So I would say those two men have been just great in helping me to understand business, because business didn't come easy to me, and it's some things come easier. I love taking photos, and I love posing and working with people using flash, all that stuff, but the business end of it can not be as easy for me.
And I think also, again, while you were speaking, it takes a community effort to make something successful. Lone
Absolutely.
Man Ranger doesn't exist in our realm. And if
No.
he does, he's probably pretty rich and, pretty much wants to be a loner. But those
Yeah.
of us that love community, love food and music and things like that, and especially uh, Otto and I are definitely Facebook friends, and I noticed that you purchased a new home. So
hmm
I was like, I've got to make sure to ask the brother about how did that go about. We also have I also have a brother who did purchase a home also, and it was an interesting coastal ride. So why don't you talk about your experience?
With purchasing a home.
Mhm.
Okay, sure. Well, like I said, my wife and I, we have our family here in Joliet, and definitely a place I never thought I'd move to, because I'm from Chicago, and I figured I'd, born and die there. But life happens. Anyway, in this area, I mean, it's interesting, but buying a home ended up being more affordable than renting out here. So, I've never had, I grew up in Chicago, and I grew up in apartments my whole life. So buying a home was a little bit weird. Whereas my wife, she grew up in a home her whole life. So she was kind of like, yeah, let's look into this. And the more we looked into it, we're like, wow, yeah, this could be exciting. And it is a ride. I mean, financially, I mean, it's a lot more difficult to purchase a home now than say before the bubble burst just a few years ago. They were giving away homes back then, and now we had to provide just, I mean, everything, every little penny we made, and different. Felt like almost background checks, but the banks are definitely making sure that their investments are going to be a good one. So buying a home, not as easy, but man, it's been awesome having our own home. Of course things break down, and we just had a water heater break, so there's $400, boom, right there. But it's fun. It's our home. We're making our own memories. I hope this is the home that our two daughters always remember as being home. But again, it's kind of like a business. You just so much to learn from how to maintain a home to how to fix stuff, how to find the right people to help you fix stuff. It's a community experience once again. You can't do it on your own. If you do, you're gonna mess up your house. But it's fun, but like everything, it's a challenge. But definitely well worth the risks.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. The other question is, let's take off now because I'm a certified travel agent and I ask this of all my interviewers. You have an unlimited budget, no time constraints. Where do you go? What do you do? And what do you feel will be your purpose?
I love it because that's how my wife and I have been thinking. Okay, where do we want to go? I've always been a little bit scared to travel, which sounds maybe silly to someone like you. Um,
No, it doesn't.
okay,
I'm a
good, good.
homebody.
Gotcha. If you're on the travel industry, people love to travel, but it's taken me a long time to want to explore that. I've always been like, I'm fine. I'll stay here at home. But I
Oh,
just
you're
photographed.
really a homebody. Like I like to travel every great, more than twice a year, but I know people that you're pretty much okay where you're at for a while.
I can be, but things are changing. I shot a wedding in Palm Springs at the end of last year,
Okay.
and I came back and thinking, why don't I do that more often? Why don't I just go travel? It wasn't that scary. So we're planning a trip to New York here soon. And then, but if I had no budget or no concerns and just time wasn't an issue, I would love to go to the UK. I'd love to visit London. I'd love to go to Scotland. I'd love to go to Ireland, to Dublin. All the major cities. I'd love to like visit and check out some castles out in Europe. Of course, with my camera in hand, of course.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I'm like, and definitely be a history buff because they have guides available for you too.
yeah, so that would be the beginning. Is hit up the United Kingdom. I would love that so much.
Do you have a favorite quote?
Favorite quote, just all around favorite quote, or
It's
um,
you're the man here.
okay.
Whatever.
I have a what's called a vision board in my little office here at home.
Mhm.
So I just post things that I find inspiring for business, art, artistic things or whatever. So one of my favorite quotes is from Henry Ford, and the quote is, and you've probably heard this one. It says, "Those who never make mistakes work for those of us who do."
Yeah.
Um, I just love that because you got to make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. You can't make perfection happen all the time. And early on, when I first started shooting, when in my early 20s, I was so afraid to make mistakes because I felt like everything had to be calculated, everything had to be perfect, and if not, I was gonna just screw it up. And I've learned the opposite is true. You have an idea, you go for it. If you screw it up, you're like, oh, at least I tried, but I learned, and then the next time it'll be better. And oftentimes it is better. You tweak it, you make things better, and that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time, you really nail it. So to not be afraid to make mistakes is, I think, why I love that quote so much.
Awesome. So, as we close out, we're going to show our audience a few of your favorite pictures. But before we go, since they've probably been intrigued more about either becoming a photographer, becoming a small business owner, maybe even owning a new home or a new place, where can they get in contact with you?
Sure, yeah, they can visit my website where you can see more of my work. It's ottorascon.com, OTTORASCON.com. They can call me at 773-234-6886.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening in on another episode of Chief Artisan Thursday. We look forward to bringing you more people who are small business owners to provide you more resources, more inspiration to love what you do and be in the community to help build up the world. Take care. Bye bye.